Annyeonghaseyo and welcome to Awful Advent, a countdown of 13 holiday horror movies for the 13 days before Christmas. For our final film this year, we go back to the Christmas ghost story that started us off, this time from the director of The Omen. It's Scrooged! A greedy TV executive gets the Christmas Carol treatment while overseeing an adaptation of the Dickens classic. When I talked about the Muppet Christmas Carol, I focused on Scrooge, and I'll do the same here. With that movie, I said Kane's Scrooge isn't me. However, Murray's Scrooge, Frank Cross, is. He's selfish, scheming, and sadistic. He delights in the harm he does to others, even reveling in the treatment of an employee when he fires them on Christmas Eve. For Frank, his emotional tipping point doesn't come when he's with the ghost of Christmas future, but after he's been abandoned by the ghost of Christmas present. When she takes him to the homes of the people in his life, it's the first time he has a chance to see them as people living their own lives, not just as adjuncts to his own desires. He feels bad for taking his brother for granted and starts to worry about Grace's son, but those experiences are still separate from him. They're not his responsibility. When the ghost leaves him, though, she leaves him with the frozen corpse of Herman, the houseless man who'd asked him for money earlier. Murray's voice cracks when he says,
"Jesus, give me a happy ending here, Herm. Come on, man."
And that's the key moment. What makes this scene different from all the others is that this is Frank's fault. He didn't give Herman $2 for coffee, and Herman died. The ghost of his former boss had warned Frank that he'd be cursed to wander unless he changed his ways. But why? Frank's just a yuppie schmuck. He's a corporate scumbag surrounded by other corporate scumbags, and hey, it's 1988, the waning years of Emperor Reagan. You can't fault someone for trying to get their piece of the pie, and besides, the new gospel says greed is good. And then he sees Herman's frozen corpse. It's not just that Frank and people like him are jerks, it's that their lifestyles, their choices, come at a cost. His petty selfishness killed Herman. While the movie still has jokes and an irreverent tone after that point, they taper off and it becomes much more somber, more reserved. When Frank finally meets the ghost of Christmas future, he's not deliberately resistant, he's resigned. He's seen the consequences of his choices in Herman and accepts the world waiting for him after death. What his time with the ghost of Christmas future does is take him to the point where nothing can be done anymore, and his catharsis comes from realizing that it's not too late, that there is still something he can do. 5 out of 5 sarcastic Scrooges. I'm a few days late, but happy solstice everyone. We've passed the tipping point and the darkness has begun to retreat. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I hope you've enjoyed these little reviews. The little things matter. The small acts of kindness, community, and responsibility are the difference between life and death. So until next year, one last time, I hope you stay safe, stay inside, and stay spooky.